Good morning, everyone, and welcome to One Cyber World's 2023 Global Cyber Conference. It is the definitive forum for shaping the cyber landscape of the future. As we stand at the nexus of technology and strategy, One Cyber World delves into not only the vulnerabilities in cybersecurity, but also the expansive opportunities that our interconnected world offers. One Cyber World is at the forefront of defining the trajectory of both cybersecurity and broader digital technologies, and brings together the brightest minds in the field to inform, challenge, and inspire. This year's conference is yet another example of our commitment to leading meaningful conversations that result in actionable insights for a safer and more dynamic digital world. And now it is our great pleasure to welcome Esti Peshin, who is VP at Cyber Division, IAI, the Israel Aerospace Industries, and she will be discussing cyber resilience in the AGI era. So Esti, I hand over to you.
Thank you so much, James, and thank you, One Business World, for this amazing opportunity. Hello from the lovely city of Ashdod in Israel. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to speak about cybersecurity in the AGI era. AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. So, by way of introduction, my name is Esti Peshin. I'm Vice President and General Manager of the Cyber Division in Israel Aerospace Industries, one of the largest defense contractors in Israel. As you can see in the pictures, I'm also a general aviation and a light sports aircraft pilot, my favorite pastime. So cyber is a strategic threat, and we have seen several trends in cybersecurity over the past few years. So first and foremost, we have been seeing more and more state and superpower level involvement. States and superpowers are using cyber as a means to exert power. We are seeing an increase in cybercrime, even in countries where the crime level is relatively low. We are seeing more and more cyber attacks on critical infrastructures, including cyber attacks that actually propagate into the physical world. We are seeing large-scale industrial espionage up to a level where we can say that any information that exists online is not fully safe or fully secure. We are seeing influence campaigns, computer network influence, CNI. They basically are attacks against our minds, trying to influence our opinion, trying to influence outcomes of our choices, for example, elections. Malware is relatively available, so we are seeing the use of publicly available malware by threat actors, more and more so. In the past 2 years, we have seen two additional important trends. Number one, an increase in supply chain attacks. So these attacks are not targeted against our organization, but rather against organizations that provide services to us, or hardware to us, or software to us. And then we have seen also minuscule cyber attacks that are accompanied by large-scale media campaigns or social media campaigns, and they basically augment the impact of the cyber attack. So a minuscule attack, for example, against a website, which doesn't have any severe impact, becomes a huge thing because it's augmented by media or by social media. In the past year, we have also seen the international arena come to play, where cyber is utilized in international conflicts in a larger scale than it has been used in the past. And looking forward, we are seeing an important trend of the involvement or the incorporation of artificial general intelligence or generative AI, and I will speak about the difference between the two later on in the presentation, within the cybersecurity arena and also by cyber attackers. I would go to the extent of saying that artificial general intelligence will be a paradigm change for cybersecurity. So we will speak about this later on. So, ladies and gentlemen, the real challenge, the real cybersecurity challenge is maintaining the business continuity, maintaining national continuity while ensuring cybersecurity. So in essence, we can basically close our network to the outside world and then be completely cyber secure, but then we won't be able to have business continuity. The flip side of the coin is we can open our network to the outside world, then we will have impeccable business continuity. We will be able to do anything, but we will not be cyber secure. So the challenge is finding the balance in the artificial intelligence era. So cybersecurity has evolved throughout the years. Initially, we were looking at hardening the targets. So we had the network, we put in security controls, we put in additional security controls. We tried to harden our network to ensure that cyber attacks will not be able to penetrate our network. Then we understood that this is not enough because it's very difficult to protect an entire network. So the paradigm became limiting potential damages, understanding where the risks are, where the threats are, and limiting the potential damages. But again, this was not enough because the cyber attacks happened and managed to impact the important assets or the crown jewels. So then the next paradigm was making the target resilient, making our network resilient. Now, resiliency in essence means that we take into account the fact that the network will be penetrated, that a cyber attack will happen, but we make sure that the potential damages from this attack will be minimal and that we will be able to recover from the attack rapidly. So we're talking about resilience rather than protection. And today, the new leitmotif is making the ecosystem resilient because we have seen the increase in cyber attacks against the ecosystem, against supply chain, and so on and so forth. Let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. In some cases, I refer to it as the elephant in the room. Artificial intelligence basically means that human tasks can be performed by a machine. Now, human tasks like learning or problem solving or decision making. Artificial general intelligence basically models human behavior in the same manner that we make decisions, that we solve problems, that we conduct our learning. Today, we are seeing an increase in the utilization of generative AI systems. And generative AI systems are basically systems that use a huge database, a knowledge base, and you basically can interact with them to receive information, to ask questions, but their responses are based on a knowledge base. They can't integrate the human ability of problem solving into their responses, but they still provide a very, very effective tool in order to be able to analyze large amounts of data, to make predictions, and to make decisions based on this data. In essence, they are even more effective in doing that than we are, human beings. Now, artificial intelligence can be very effective in cybersecurity. It can allow for faster detection of cyber attacks. It can allow for behavioral analytics. It can allow for prediction and then subsequently prevention of cyber attacks. It can ensure secure authentication. There are many, many potentials for artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. Artificial intelligence can also be used to automate cybersecurity. And today, one of the challenges we are facing in cybersecurity is the skills crunch. We don't have enough cyber defenders. So if we are able to automate some of the cybersecurity tasks, then we are able to provide better cybersecurity. But when we are looking at artificial general intelligence in cybersecurity, we need to consider it as a double-edged sword. So let's look at some of the benefits of artificial general intelligence in cybersecurity, and then look maybe at the counter side, at the flip side of the coin. So we are able to detect threats quickly because we are automating the threat detection. We are able to automate some of the cybersecurity tasks. We are able to adapt our defenses to effectively employ a solution of moving target defense. because again, we are doing things rapidly and automatically and based on a huge set of data. We allow for better use of data. We allow for advanced forensics and for predictive detection processes. So we are able to predict that certain actions or reactions will lead or are indicative of a potential cyber attack. But then there's a flip side of the coin. So in the same way that we can detect threats quickly, the bad guys can detect vulnerabilities quickly. In the same way that we can automate our cyber security tasks, they can automate their cyber attacking tasks. In the same way that we can provide moving target defenses, they can provide better persistent threats. Data is king when we're talking about artificial intelligence, but data is also a single point of failure. Advanced forensics, well, the flip side of the coin is that attacks can be better tested to make sure that they will withstand existing defenses. The predictive detection processes, well, there's a flip side to the coin. There are new attack vectors or predictive attack vectors. So artificial general intelligence should be considered as something that can serve both sides. And the cyber defenders should come together to come up with the regulations, the technology, the enabling options that will allow to use artificial intelligence effectively, but will mitigate the potential threats from artificial intelligence. Now, you can see here a survey conducted by Deloitte showing that in many countries in the world, executives are looking at artificial intelligence as one of the main potential cyber threats looking forward. And these are tier 1 countries. So definitely the world understands that artificial intelligence is going to be a major player in the cybersecurity and cyber attacking arena. So it's going to be a paradigm change. Now, looking at artificial general intelligence, there are a few benefits that can be reaped from it. One of the benefits is within training environments. So we need to generate more cyber defenders. We need to train more cyber experts. And let's see how artificial intelligence can help us do that. So we can do better performance appraisal. We can do continuous examinations of the training capabilities. We can answer trainees' questions. We can present textbook solutions. And this is actually something we are doing today in AGI. Our cyber range incorporates artificial intelligence in order to provide a better learning experience. Now, looking at the cybersecurity challenges, we need to understand one thing. When we are looking at national grade cyber challenges, we need national grade cyber solutions. And these solutions comprise of 5 elements. Number 1, state-of-the-art technology. Number 2, effective methodology on how to use this technology in an effective and efficient manner. Constant innovation, because the threats are constantly evolving, the technologies are evolving, the solutions are evolving, artificial general intelligence is going to come into play. So we need to be able to constantly innovate and to adapt our solutions to the ever-dynamic world. We need national and global cooperation, and platforms like this conference are an excellent opportunity to share information, to learn from each other, and to be able to collaborate in order to provide better cybersecurity. And finally, capacity buildup, training, awareness campaigns. The weakest links was and will remain the human being. So we need to train, we need to make sure that they are aware, we need to make sure that they practice cyber hygiene, and then our cybersecurity will be elevated. Now, let's look a little bit at some practical advice. So people are asking me, what should my organization do in order to make sure that I am as cyber secure as I can be? What technologies should I consider? So here is how I view cyber resilience when we're talking about critical infrastructures or national cybersecurity elements. This can be adapted also for enterprise use, but it's more for organizations that need an elevated level of cybersecurity. So first and foremost, we need the ability to conduct forensics and incident response. Cyber attacks will happen, and when they do happen, we need the ability to analyze them and to generate the effective countermeasures. We need a SOC, a Security Operations Center. Now, SOCs tend to be very, very linear. So today we are looking at next generation SOCs that provide visualization of the threat level and the risk level within the organization or within the ecosystem. We need a proactive approach of detecting threats and vulnerability. We need predictive capabilities in order to be able to identify indicative signals of an impending cyber attack. We need capacity buildup, training, awareness, hygiene. We need, within a national framework, we need to look at our critical infrastructures. These are the crown jewels. So we need to protect them, but we need also to monitor them to make sure that the entire national level has the same security level, that there is no weak link. We need to consider supply chain and to be able to protect our environment also from threats that derive from supply chain. And finally, knowledge sharing and collaboration. This is key. This is the most important line of defense, because if a certain organization within our ecosystem or a certain department within our organization has been cyber attacked and will share information about the cyber attack, then other organizations or other departments can elevate their cybersecurity level and prevent this attack. So our strength lies in our numbers. A few words about AGI, Israel Aerospace Industries. So Israel Aerospace Industries, one of the largest defense contractors in Israel. We are the leaders of 3 cybersecurity consortium in Israel, the Israeli Cyber Companies Consortium, which provide national level cyber solutions to countries, to nation states around the world, the Israeli Aviation Cyber Companies Consortium, which provides cyber solutions for the commercial aviation ecosystem, and finally CITES, the Israeli Cyber Center of Excellence for Smart Transportation Systems, that provides cyber solutions for smart transportation ecosystems, including autonomous cars, smart cities, smart transportation, mass transportation, and so on and so forth. So, what are the main takeaways from this presentation? What would I like you to remember from this presentation? Number 1, we are undergoing a paradigm shift, and we are only at the beginning of this paradigm shift. Number 2, practice cyber resilience in view of cybersecurity, and this is ever more important in view of this paradigm shift. The new and dynamic threats require a collaborative approach and advanced capabilities. Capacity building, training, and awareness campaigns are extremely important, tailor-made solutions for your organization, and digital leadership. And finally, we are hiring. And we are hiring globally. So if any of you are looking for a position in cybersecurity, well adapted to teamwork, experts in your domain, please do not hesitate to contact me. My LinkedIn contact appears in this slide. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Stay safe and healthy. And this is it for now from Israel.
Well, Esti, thank you very much for this incredible presentation. It presents the issues in such a way that we are beginning to realize how profound it is. And I just had a couple of quick questions. You mentioned that artificial intelligence largely relies on huge amounts of information that it is able to collect. But beyond that amount of information, is AI able to think on its own? If there's a new challenge, if there's a new problem, is it able to come up with its own solutions based on independent thinking and not just drawing on existing sources of information?
So James, this is the crucial question. There is a school of people that will tell you this isn't happening and will never happen. There is a school of people that will tell you this isn't happening now, but it's on the verge of happening. Now, I do not claim to be an AI expert. I'm a cyber expert. What I can tell you is that as and when it happens, it will change the cyber world. And we need to be prepared for this development. So there are people that would say artificial general intelligence will never happen. A machine will never be able to make decisions that do not rely on past knowledge, on past information, on a bank of data. And if this is the case, then generative AI, which we are already seeing and is already deployed quite effectively and widely, is still a huge threat because it provides attackers with significant more capabilities than they had in the past. I mean, you can use generative AI to code, to write malware. You can use generative AI to adapt malware. So generative AI on its own is a huge threat. Now, if artificial general intelligence will come into play, it will be an even more severe threat. Will that happen, yes or no? I don't know. But if it does, it will change the cybersecurity domain forever. And we have to be prepared for this. The good guys, the like-minded countries, the ones who are standing at the forefront of cyber defense and defending critical infrastructures and enterprises and people around the world.
Yeah. I mean, for example, a system may be attacked by other places using artificial intelligence. And I mean, is there a way you can stay ahead of it? If you have all the up-to-date systems and you're developing new prevention systems as well, and yet we have another attacker who's coming up with something completely new, can you assure that your system will be protected?
Okay, that's a great question. So any cyber expert that will tell you that you can assure anything is not a cyber expert. So assurance, we can speak about risk mitigation, we can speak about probabilities, but there is no 100% in cyber. It's an arms race.
Yeah.
Now the past has shown that the good guys, the cyber defenders, are slower on the uptake than the bad guys. The bad guys are developing attacks faster than the good guys. They're adapting new technologies faster than the good guys. And in the case of artificial intelligence, I can only hope that the good guys will be quick on the uptake and will develop the technologies that mitigate these attacks faster. I can tell you that we at IAI are doing our part. We are investing quite a bit of research and development in developing solutions that will allow to mitigate or even prevent artificial intelligence generated attacks.
It's really surprising, and what an impressive time we're living through. So I want to thank you very much for your presentation. Very informative, and we much look forward to staying in touch. And there's so much more we need to learn about this, and we look forward to continuing our conversation. So I want to thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you so much, James. It's been a pleasure. And thank you, One Business World, for this amazing opportunity to share information and thoughts and to be able to together make the world a more cyber secure place.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.